Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive that is all about making QuickBooks Online truly work for you. We're going to unlock those secrets of customizing your company profile to boost efficiency and, maybe even discover some features that you had no idea were even there. And we're going to be using this really great guide by Meritorious Consultants LLC to make sure that we hit every single point.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to turn QuickBooks Online from just a basic tool into like this finely tuned machine, something that just fits your business perfectly.
I love that. Okay, so let's just imagine for a second you're a small business owner.
Yep.
Maybe you run a cool little coffee shop,
Okay.
and you're trying to keep track of everything from, beans and milk to rent and payroll. And QuickBooks Online is that tool that you use.
Mm.
But sometimes it feels like there's just so many settings and features that you're not sure how to make it all work smoothly.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where this customization comes in, tailoring QuickBooks Online to your specific needs.
Right.
So you can streamline your processes, get better insights into your financials, and ultimately free up more time to focus on what you love.
Yeah.
Like making that perfect latte art.
Okay, so first things first. Let's get into the settings, like going behind the scenes of QuickBooks to really kind of fine tune your experience. So you're going to click on that little gear icon that's in the top right corner.
Right.
And then you're going to select Account and Settings.
Yeah, it's like going into the control room of QuickBooks. And from here, you'll see a bunch of tabs. Each one is like dedicated to a different part of your business. So you got company, sales, expenses, payments, and then, of course, the mysterious advanced tab.
Ooh.
Don't worry, we're going to demystify that a little later on.
We'll get there. Okay, so let's start with the Company tab.
Okay.
This is where you make that first impression, right? Imagine handing a customer a beautifully designed invoice that's got your logo on it. That's what this tab is for.
Yeah, it's about putting your best foot forward, creating that professional image for your business. You'll update your company name, add your logo, make sure it's high resolution so it really pops, and make sure all your contact information is correct.
Perfect. And while you're doing that, double check that your legal address is correct. That's super important for taxes. It's something that people easily forget.
Absolutely. It's one of those little details that can really save you a headache in the future.
Right.
Just a little preventative accounting.
I like it. Okay, so we've got the company tab squared away. Let's move on to sales. This is where you craft those invoices that just, make your customers say, wow, this is so professional.
Here's a little pro tip. Go beyond the basic info. You can customize how your invoices look and feel. Set clear payment terms so there's no confusion. You can even offer discounts to kind of incentivize people to pay early.
Oh, that's smart. You're making it easier for your customers to pay you, and you're making sure you're getting paid on time.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
And you know what? By looking at the data from those invoices, you can start to see patterns in your sales cycle. Like, are there certain times of year when sales are higher? Are there certain products or services that are consistently selling well? That's really valuable information.
Absolutely. It helps connect those day-to-day transactions with the bigger picture of your business's health.
Okay, so we've covered making a great first impression with the Company tab. We've talked about streamlining your sales process with the Sales tab. But let's be real. Every business has expenses, and keeping track of them can sometimes feel like, trying to herd cats.
For sure. Don't worry, the Expenses tab is here to help you tame those wild expenses. This is where you can categorize your spending, so you can see where your money's going.
Got it. So instead of just seeing a big lump sum for all of your expenses, you can see categories like rent, utilities, marketing, supplies.
Right. And here's another pro tip. You can create custom categories to track expenses for specific projects or campaigns.
Oh, I like that.
So let's say you're running a social media marketing campaign for your coffee shop. You create a custom category called social media marketing.
Okay.
And you can track exactly what you're spending on things like ads, influencer partnerships, content creation.
Now that's what I call granular control.
Yeah, and this level of detail can really help you make informed decisions about your spending. If you see that one campaign is eating up a lot of budget, but it's not generating much return, you can change your strategy, right?
So the Expenses tab isn't just about seeing where your money went. It's about optimizing your spending, making sure that every dollar is really working for you.
Absolutely. Turning data into insights that can help you grow your business smarter.
Okay, we've talked about making a great first impression, streamlining sales, and taming those expenses. Now it's time to talk about what every business owner loves, getting paid.
Yes. The sweet sound of cash coming into your account. That's where the Payments tab comes in.
This is where QuickBooks Online really starts to show off how convenient it is. It's like your one-stop shop for managing all things payments.
You can connect all your bank accounts, see your balances, all your transactions, all in one place.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set up a bunch of different online payment methods. Credit cards, debit cards, even ACH transfers. Give your customers options for how they want to pay you.
Oh, that's a game changer for any business, especially ones that do a lot of online transactions.
Exactly. And here's the even better part. QuickBooks Online has features that can help you reduce those processing fees. The ones that can eat into your profits.
Oh, yeah.
You can look at things like QuickBooks payments. They often have lower rates than traditional payment processors.
So not only are you making things easier, you're potentially snagging some money too.
Right. It's like a double shot of financial espresso.
Love it. So the Payments tab is all about making it super easy for your customers to pay you, making sure you get paid fast, and maybe saving you some money along the way. What's not to love?
It's about making that financial side of your business work really well so you can focus on what you do best. Whether it's brewing that delicious coffee or designing websites or providing great consulting services, whatever it may be.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but we've just scratched the surface of what you can do to customize QuickBooks Online. Are you ready to venture into the Advanced tab?
I'm ready. This is where we unleash the true power and flexibility of QuickBooks Online.
Buckle up, because we're about to dive into a world of accounting settings, automation, and features that can really take your business to a whole new level. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick pause. We'll come back to it in part 2 of this deep dive. All right, we're back, and we're about to unlock that vault of QuickBooks Online's Advanced tab. Get ready to discover features you didn't even know existed and learn how they can transform your business.
Yeah, it's like leveling up in a video game, right? Going from basic moves to like mastering those combos.
I like it. Okay, let's start with accounting settings. This might sound a little intimidating, but it's really just about choosing the method that works best for your business and your reporting needs. You have two main choices: cash and accrual.
So think of it like this. Cash accounting is like keeping track of your pocket money, right? You record income when you get it and expenses when you pay them. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Works well for a lot of smaller businesses, especially those with like simpler transactions.
Okay, but what about accrual accounting? When would that be a better option?
Accrual accounting is more like tracking your income and expenses based on when they're earned or incurred, regardless of when the actual cash changes hands. So even if you send an invoice and you haven't gotten paid yet, you record it as income under accrual.
So it's more about when it's earned, not when you see the money.
Exactly. And it can be a little more complex, but it also gives you a more accurate view of your financial health, especially if you have lots of invoices or bills that are outstanding. And for a lot of businesses, accrual accounting is required for taxes.
So it's all about choosing the method that aligns with what you need and gives you the clearest picture of your finances.
Right. And while you're in accounting settings, you can set your fiscal year start, which is important for accurate reporting and taxes.
Got it. Okay, next up is chart of accounts customization. Sounds kind of like creating a map of your financial universe.
That's a great way to put it. Think of your chart of accounts as that framework for organizing your financial data. It's a list of all your accounts, like income, expenses, assets, liabilities. And by customizing it, you can tailor it to your business.
So instead of just using the standard accounts, you can create custom accounts that make more sense for you.
Yeah.
Like our coffee shop owner could create accounts for different types of coffee beans, pastry ingredients, or even like marketing expenses for social media.
Exactly. That level of detail gives you a really clear picture of where your money's going and can help you find places to, save money.
It's like having a financial microscope.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for this? It's time to unleash the magic of automation. This is where QuickBooks Online feels like a superpower.
Automation is all about working smarter, not harder, right? It's setting up systems that do the heavy lifting for you so you can focus on, the bigger picture stuff.
One of the coolest things is recurring transactions. You imagine setting up your rent payment to go out automatically every month. No more missed deadlines, no more late fees.
Right. You can automate invoices for regular clients, set up reminders for bills, even apply credits automatically.
Like having a virtual assistant handling all those little things.
Exactly. Speaking of assistants, let's talk multi-currency. This is a game changer if you work with international clients or vendors.
Oh, yeah, that can be tricky.
No more manually calculating those exchange rates or worrying about currencies fluctuating.
Mm-hmm.
QuickBooks Online takes care of all that, makes it so much easier.
So you can send invoices and get paid in multiple currencies without even breaking a sweat.
Right, like having a global financial team working for you.
Okay, now with great power comes great responsibility, right? That's where user permissions comes in. This lets you control who sees what information in your QuickBooks Online account.
Yeah, security is so important, especially with financial data. You don't want just anyone having access to sensitive information.
Right.
User permissions lets you set up different roles and access levels for each person.
So you can control who can see, edit, or even delete certain things, like transactions or reports.
Exactly. You can have an administrator with full access, a bookkeeper with limited editing abilities, or even reports only for people who just need to see the reports.
That level of control is so important for protecting your data.
Absolutely. And it helps with those data privacy regulations, especially if you deal with personal information about customers or employees.
Okay, let's dive into a feature that's super exciting for anyone managing projects. Projects and job costing.
This is where you can see how profitable each project is. You can assign income, expenses, even time to specific projects. Gives you a really granular view.
So you can see which projects are making you money and which ones might be, draining your resources.
Exactly. And you can use this information to make better decisions about pricing, resources, even which projects to take on in the future.
And speaking of tracking time, QuickBooks Online has a great feature for that.
Right, a time tracking feature. Track billable hours for each project, making it easy to invoice correctly and make sure you're getting paid for all your work.
Perfect for anyone who bills hourly, like consultants or freelancers.
Exactly. You can even set up different hourly rates for different types of work or clients.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, taxes. Not everyone's favorite topic, but QuickBooks Online has some tools to make it a little easier.
Yeah, tax settings let you set up sales tax calculations based on your location and what you sell. It takes the guesswork out of tax time.
No more spending hours trying to figure out those tax tables.
Right. And if you operate in multiple states or countries, QuickBooks Online can even handle different tax jurisdictions.
Okay, let's move on to something that might not be the most exciting, but it's super important. Data, backup, and storage. This is all about protecting your financial data from the unexpected.
Think of it like insurance for your business.
Yeah.
You never want to lose all your data, but you need a backup plan just in case.
Like if your computer crashes or there's a natural disaster.
Exactly. QuickBooks Online does automatic backups, so you don't have to remember to do it yourself.
That's a lifesaver.
And your data is stored securely in the cloud, so you can access it anywhere you have internet.
So no matter what happens, your financial data is safe.
Right. Now, for all you data lovers out there, the advanced reporting feature is going to be your best friend.
Ooh, tell me more.
This is where you can really dive into the data and see how your business is doing. You can create custom reports with filters, charts, graphs. You can even schedule reports to be sent to you automatically.
It's like having your own personal data analyst.
Exactly. You can track all sorts of things. Sales trends, customer behavior, expense breakdowns, profitability. It's really powerful.
Now, this next feature might sound a bit technical, but it's all about getting a deeper understanding of your business. It's called class and location tracking.
Think of it like slicing and dicing your financial data to get a closer look. You can assign classes to different departments, products, or even locations.
Okay.
This lets you track income and expenses by class, so you can see which areas are doing well and which ones might need a little help.
So you could see if your downtown coffee shop is doing better than your suburban one, or if espresso is bringing in more money than pastries.
Exactly. This level of detail is really helpful for making strategic decisions about things like pricing and marketing.
And finally, we have a feature that's all about transparency. The audit log.
Think of the audit log as a detective's notebook for your QuickBooks Online account. It tracks every little change made to your transactions or settings.
So you can see who made what changes and when.
Right. This is really important for making sure everything is accurate, finding errors, and even preventing fraud. It's also helpful for training new employees or figuring out any discrepancies.
Okay, we've covered a ton of information here in the Advanced tab. It's packed with features that can really help you streamline your work and get better control over your finances.
But before you get too excited and start changing all the settings, we have a few tips to help you use these features effectively and safely. We'll cover those in the last part of our deep dive.
We're back for the final part of our QuickBooks deep dive. We're making sure you can use all those powerful features in the Advanced tab.
Yeah, it's like you've got this high-performance car,
Yeah,
but you don't just jump in and hit the gas without knowing how to drive it right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go over some expert tips to make sure you're using these features the right way.
Okay, tip number one, think about what your business really needs before you change any advanced settings. Not every feature is going to be useful for every business.
Right, it's like going to a buffet and piling your plate with everything.
Yeah.
You end up overwhelmed and probably won't even like half of it. Instead, think about which features will actually help you reach your goals.
Right. If you're a freelancer working mostly with local clients, multi-currency might not be that important.
But for an online store selling internationally, it could be a game changer.
Exactly.
Okay, tip number 2 is all about testing things out before you make any big changes.
QuickBooks Online usually lets you create a test company file.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a sandbox where you can experiment with different settings without messing up your real data.
So it's like a dress rehearsal?
Exactly. You can try out new features, different customizations, even practice running reports. No risk involved.
Okay, and our final tip is to ask for help when you need it. Don't be afraid to call in the experts.
Especially for those trickier features like multi-currency or advanced reporting. Sometimes it's just easier to get help from someone who knows what they're doing.
It's like having a guide for a tough hike.
Yeah, you can talk to your accountant, a QuickBooks Pro advisor, or even check out the QuickBooks Online community.
There are so many resources available, like forums, tutorials, webinars. You don't have to be a QuickBooks expert to run a successful business. There's a lot of support out there.
Absolutely.
So now that you've learned so much about customizing your QuickBooks Online company profile, what's the first thing you're going to change to make it work better for you?
Maybe it's setting up those recurring invoices or diving into those custom reports or trying out classes to track your business better.
Take a minute, think about what would make the biggest difference, and start there. The possibilities are endless. And remember, QuickBooks Online is always changing. New features are being added all the time.
That's right.
So keep exploring, keep learning. We hope this deep dive has helped you take control of QuickBooks and make it work for you. Until next time, happy accounting.